Any vegan who watches this video will know exactly how to rapidly lose body fat. I'm gonna give you the step-by-step process you can use to lose 2 to 4 pounds every single week. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you what I think about this strategy. First off, this is gonna be intense. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be really hard and you're gonna experience hunger because you wanna rapidly lose body fat. So we gotta do something drastic for that to happen. The first thing we're gonna do is calculate your calories, and we gotta put you in a kind of like an intense deficit. What you're gonna do is calculate your maintenance calories, and you're going to deduct 1,000 from that. And that's gonna be the starting point. You can Google Harris-Benedict equation, plug in your data, and whatever number you get, just deduct 1,000, and that's where you're going to start. Now that you have your calories, you're going to calculate the amount of protein that you need. And for most people watching this video, 0.8 grams per pound will suffice. So just multiply your body weight times 0.8 and eat that number every single day. And you can get the rest of the calories from carbohydrates and from fats. Once you got these numbers, I recommend you build one meal plan and just stick to that meal plan for the duration of the phase, because that's gonna simplify things and it's going to be easier for you to stick to the diet if it's simple. So we got the nutrition out of the way. Let's talk about activity levels. You're going to be walking anywhere between 12,000 to 15,000 steps every single day. And if you can do more, because the more you walk, the more energy you will use, and that's gonna put you deeper into that calorie deficit. Additionally, you will do 100 to 120 minutes of cardio every single week. You can divide that into 5 to 6 sessions. And every single week that goes by, you're going to add up 2.5 minutes to every session. So if you start with 6 sessions of 20 minutes, that's 120. Week 2, you will do 22.5 minutes. Week 3, you will do 25 minutes every session, and so forth. Lastly, you're going to be training 4 times per week. And the goal with training will just be to maintain your muscle, because you will be in a deep deficit. And the idea is to not lose muscle mass. We're not trying to gain muscle now. So that's literally all you gotta do. You do this for 10 to 12 weeks, and I guarantee you're going to lose a lot of weight. Now, let me tell you what I think about this strategy. If you were to sign up with me and become my client, I wouldn't have you do this, because there's a couple of problems with this strategy. First, you're going to be really hungry, and hunger makes adherence hard. Most people already struggle to adhere to a normal diet without being in an intense deficit. And from experience, if you try to start with a really harsh deficit from the get-go, you will most likely fail. That's the first problem. The second problem is going to be the chances of muscle loss. You're going to be in such a deep deficit with so much activity that you will have very little energy left for lifting weights. And if you don't lift weights hard, then you're not going to build muscle. You might end up a lot lighter after the 10 to 12 weeks, but you probably will not have any extra muscle mass, or maybe you will lose some muscle mass. That's a real possibility. And the biggest problem with this strategy is gonna be the bounce back, the post-diet phase. The more weight that you lose and the deeper you put yourself into a deficit, the harder is gonna be the post-diet phase. Meaning, when you start increasing your calories and getting yourself back into maintenance, your hunger levels, your cravings, and just the feelings of just saying, screw this, I'm going to eat everything I want, and you go for huge binging sessions, are very, very likely. It's happened to me a couple times. And the chances of you regaining all the weight back or even more are very, very high. So overall, I don't think this strategy is worth it. I think the potential negatives outweigh the positives. Here's what I would have you do instead. I would start you off with a moderate calorie deficit. This will make it easier for you to adhere to the diet. Also, you will have enough energy to lift weights hard. So by the end of the diet, you will lose a lot less weight than before. Maybe you lose half or even a little bit less, but you will gain a lot more muscle. So let's hypothetically imagine that with strategy number 1, you lose 45 pounds in 12 weeks, and with strategy number 2, you lose 17. With this one, you're going to end up with minus 2 pounds of muscle, and with this one, you're going to end up with plus 8 pounds of muscle. Which one would you pick? I would go for this one. And the most important thing that we'll take into consideration is going to be the post-diet phase, because if we lose a little less weight, if we're less aggressive, then the post-diet phase is going to be a lot easier. So the chances of regaining the weight and yo-yoing back to your old weight go down. So if you have a lot of weight to lose, I would recommend that you stretch that over a couple diet phases. You don't need to lose all the weight at once, because the goal here is not to lose weight fast. The goal here is to lose weight and never gain it back. because ideally you want to be in fitness not just for a couple months, but for the rest of your life. So it's okay to take a little bit of a longer approach. If you check out the description, I have a 7-day challenge that is going to help you get set up with strategy number 2. And if you want me to help you personally and to guide you in this process, there's also a link where you can apply for my coaching. That's all I got for you today. Julian here, signing off.